Mel Gibson was born in the United States and gained international fame in the late 1970s with the film Mad Max, a low-budget production that conquered the world and elevated the young actor to the status of one of the great stars of cinema. From that moment on, he became one of the most sought-after talents by producers and directors of American cinema, co-starring with various renowned actors and actresses of the time. In 1987, another success came for Gibson. Who doesn't remember Lethal Weapon, right? Mel Gibson's success continued to grow, and he gained recognition for his skills both in front of and behind the camera. However, his encounter with Christ's adversary drastically changed the course of his career. Gibson's rise did not stop. He made dozens of other successful films, lent his voice to animated films, such as Disney's Pocahontas, among many other successful works. But Mel Gibson's peak was yet to come. In 1996, he won 2 Oscars for Best Actor and Best Director with the film Braveheart, which tells the story of the battle for Scotland's independence in the 11th century. William Wallace, Mel Gibson's character, enters the battle and falls in love with the fight for his country's freedom after his wife is brutally murdered by the English army. Hollywood and the world expected that, from that moment on, Mel Gibson would become one of the greatest names in the history of cinema, alongside Steven Spielberg, for example. But shortly thereafter, the actor who was loved by everyone began to have his name involved in a series of scandals and controversies related to alcohol use and anger control problems. The strange thing is that despite all the news that channels and gossip magazines published, Mel Gibson still seemed calm and charismatic in interviews, outings with his family, without ever offending or assaulting anyone. But the scandals kept coming. He was arrested for drunk driving, accused of making prejudiced comments against black people, and allegedly made threats against his ex-wife. Unfortunately, this sequence of adverse accusations caused the public's rejection of Mel Gibson to increase alarmingly, making the actor no longer summoned to participate in any major films. The curious thing is that other prominent figures in Hollywood at the same time faced much more serious accusations, and nothing happened. Meanwhile, Mel Gibson was disappearing from Hollywood's radar. He even managed to play some less relevant roles in a few films at that time. But the media hardly publicized these productions, and movie theaters were practically empty most of the time. Because for the audience, the image that remained of Mel Gibson was that of a drunken, disturbed, unbalanced man who assaulted women and insulted people of other ethnicities, and therefore did not deserve a second chance or the right to have his version heard of the accusations he faced.